obviously Mississippi State has some talented freshmen, really great rebounder, and Favor Wadozie. Just what stands out about their team?
Yeah, they're a new team. They're athletic. They're top 10 in the country in rebounding. We have to go and play in a tough environment with a team that is undefeated at home, plays very well at home. I think that they are a different team at home than they are on the road. So it's tough to have to go to their place, but it's tough to go anywhere. And so just got to make sure that we play our game and we box them out and we do what we need to do.
Casey and then Ryan.
Do you expect Alyssa to be back for Mississippi State? And then was there a moment during that Auburn game that you kind of felt like you missed her the most on the court?
When we were getting crushed on the boards, I looked at her and like, just go in. Like, you got one arm, go in. But yeah, she practiced yesterday. She looks great. It's going to be good to have her back.
How much more prepared do you feel like your team was for this start of SEC play, given the lumps you took now to conference play, rather than if you didn't really play anyone, how prepared you would have been then?
Yeah, I think we're better off with the schedule that we have played. Again, I don't love where we're at, but I think we're better off than I think we're significantly better off if we would have played every game would have been a cupcake game.
You had mentioned on the radio that you felt like the turnovers, a lot of them were selfish plays, dribbling too much. Just where do you feel like this team's chemistry is at this point, and how do you feel about kind of how they progressed in that area?
You know, it's interesting. People ask all the time, do they like each other? Do they like each other? Our team loves each other. I mean, they have fun all the time. They enjoy being around each other, but then when we get on the floor, there is a disconnect. And we need more communication, I think. We need all 5 players. On the offensive end, the defensive end, it's just really apparent on the offensive end. To communicate, to tell people when you're open. Our spacing is bad at times. That's creating a lot of our turnovers. Over bouncing. I mean, we gave them a dribble limit. Nobody was allowed to dribble the ball more than 3 times in practice because our turnovers last game were coming from over dribbling. You're taking too many bounces. So just continuing to work on it, and that's all we can do, and they have to be willing to make the adjustment and learn and not continue to make the same mistake, because when we cut the film up, we had 4 or 5 turnovers that I could clip right in a row that were identical. You would have thought it was the same possession. And just having to learn from them too, and being coachable.
I know you've told us a lot. You want the team to get to the rim on the road and not take a lot of early shot clock shots. Just how nice was it to see that translate on the court at Auburn, and then how important is that again this week?
Yeah, it was good. I thought we had a really good half of playing inside out, of getting to the rim, of going in transition, and then again our third quarter was abysmal. We did not do what we needed to do, and I don't know if we were settling for bad shots or they just weren't going in, but we talk, they bring it up before me about putting 4 quarters together, and I don't know that we have done that yet.
Anything that you've seen from Talasia in these last 2 games that maybe you didn't see as much in the non-conference slate in the beginning part of the year?
She still has more in her, and I'm going to go ahead and challenge her publicly. She still has more in her. She can get to the rim more. She did a better job versus Florida, but she can get to the rim whenever she wants on 1 or 2 people, and she needs to start doing that because we don't have time to waste.
I know you've had the whiteboard system in practice. I don't know if you've seen Coach Barnes kind of bring out the balloons for turnovers. What are you doing, maybe anything different in practice to address those turnovers?
Yeah, yesterday was really fun. Anytime we turned the ball over, we took that ball and we launched it as far as we possibly could. And then they had to go get a new ball off the rack, and once the balls off the rack were empty and we started with 3 balls on the rack, then we went and ran. And once they ran, they got the balls back on the rack, and we did that a lot, and we did a lot of running.
First, how do you feel like the team responded to that? Did they seem to kind of take more ownership of that as practice went on? Just how did that work well?
I think that they are still not valuing the basketball the way they need to. They don't want to run, so towards the end they would figure it out a little bit. A missed shot is not a turnover, but that doesn't really help. And so I think that it was just very eye-opening to them. We had done that before. We've done that all year, of give them a turnover count, and once they reach that goal, they run. But really to do it with a visual aid and to throw the basketballs. And Naya loved throwing the basketball. She was really good at it. But that's, again, not the point. The point is to, hey, we don't have to throw the ball. We don't have to get on the baseline. Let's be proud of completing the drill. And that's going to be something that remains in practice until we value it.
I wanted to ask about Maya. She was the only player who played significant minutes that didn't have a turnover against Auburn, and you had talked about, you cleared up what her role was going in that game, and she played it. Just what does that say about her to really have waited for that opportunity and done it so well?
I think I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her, and she did a great job. We talked about her role to take open shots, to create shots for other people, to guard, and I think she did it perfectly. And we also talked about her limiting her fouls. She did that as well. And then it just speaks so much to her character that she came up afterwards and said, "Thanks, coach." Not "I told you so," or "I could have done this, I could have done that." Just a very thank you for the opportunity. And I thought that spoke volumes of her character.
Other questions for Coach? Casey, any more?
Going back to Alyssa, you mentioned missing her play on the boards. Just why do you think she's so good, getting in there, getting rebounds for you guys?
I mean, she just wants to do it. She's incredibly athletic. She's one of, if not our best out-of-area rebounder. So she will go from the opposite side of the rim and go snatch it down. And I think people feed off of that. I think people see her do it, and then they want to do it. I think she was the spark against Florida of going to get those rebounds, tracking them down on both ends of the floor. And she's capable of doing that again. She cuts. She provides some things in our offense that we need from her, and she's continuing to grow. But she's a force on both ends on the glass.
You guys have a pretty backloaded SEC schedule. How big picture do you get with the team in discussions right now of, hey, if we drop a game we're not supposed to early on, it gets that much harder? Like, do you find that you need to get big picture with them, or is that urgency where it needs to be?
Nope, absolutely not. We're going one game at a time. It doesn't matter what order you play people, when you play them, you have to show up. And if you start talking to players like that, then they're going to think that they don't have to show up. And that's not the case. And I think most of them know that. There are upsets that happen every single night, and the parity is getting better in the league, and I think you have to show up and perform and take it one game at a time and then continue to get better.
What have you seen from Janiyah in conference play that's allowed her to, have success on the glass and also score the basketball as well?
Yeah, I think I challenged her about her turnovers, and I challenged her about her rebounding, and she was really taking the rebounding to heart. We're still working on the turnovers. And again, going to get rebounds when you're her, Z, Alyssa, anyone, Coop, anyone. It's something that you can control. So don't worry so much about your scoring. Go get us 10 rebounds, and we have multiple people that can go get you 8 to 10, and that's a pride point in what we want to do.
You mentioned, Coach, that these freshmen are just going to have to see it to believe it when it comes to SEC play. Have you seen kind of that reality check in them in just these 2 games?
Yeah, I think so. And again, I think just you got to stack days together, and you got to stack games together. And our non-conference schedule helped with that. And we played in some big arenas. And our first game was a big stage. We played in New York. It was a big stage. And so when you go on the road in these tough environments and you let them go on a run and the crowd gets into it, it's nothing they haven't seen before.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.